Hey, what is up everybody? Michael Crump back here again, talking about the latest and the greatest in PlayStation Homebrew news and much more. So the first news item for today is that yesterday we were presented with a jailbreak for PlayStation 4's 12.50 to 12.52. And while I walked you through that, I thought that I would start this episode by letting you know that I gave my opinion on the matter earlier today, which basically was that I had been seeing a lot of people asking about stability of using the PS4 12.52 and 12.50. And really, my recommendation at this point is that you should not update to this version. At this point, it is super fast when it works, but it does take multiple attempts. If you are on PS4 firmware less than 12.02 on a PlayStation 4, just stay there. And that is because there really isn't any benefit to updating to these firmwares at this point. Now, if the jailbreak becomes even more stable, then maybe so, but it's not like you're going to get any additional fake package games running on these firmwares that we don't already have running on previous firmwares. Now, heading back over to the main repo here, this is underneath the GoldHEN umbrella on GitHub, and there isn't any release notes in here, but again, if you do head over to the releases, then you will see an ISO image file that you will just download. Now again, you will need a Blu-ray burner and a blank disc in order to make this yourself. But as I mentioned in yesterday's video, which I will leave a link to in the description, there is now an AliExpress option for those of you who cannot burn one and would just like to purchase one of the discs yourself. Now on AliExpress, you will notice that there are two versions here. There is the previous one, which works with versions 9.00 all the way up to 12.02. And then there is this version, which is the version that works with 12.50 and with 12.52. You'll know you have the right one when it says new, but at least at the time of the recording, they look like they're about $6 USD currency. Now, back at the main repo, you will see that there is a couple of different pull requests in here where folks are talking about adding in a different logo and even a timeout to auto-select something. So whereas right now you have to manually press a button, there may be a fix in here in the future where it just automatically selects that for you. Now, with folks wanting this auto select method, there is a repo that is out here that does have an auto start. Now, I currently have not been able to get this ISO image to run, so maybe it needs to be burnt maybe with the built-in burner that comes with Windows. I'm not exactly sure. But there was another person that created a solution where they went ahead and added some of the most important PKGs to the HEN loader. So here is the new icon. And then if we switch over here, you can see that there is a couple of different tools that it has. Now there is this link where you can go ahead and download it and take advantage of it. And let's go ahead and stop here for a moment and give this a shot. Okay, so here is what it looks like once you insert the disc. It looks like they have a brand new icon here, but for the text itself, it still says HEN Loader LP. Let's go ahead and give this a shot and let's see what has changed. Okay, so the menu is exactly as it was before. We're going to press X here. And so now by default, it's going to go ahead and close out of the Blu-ray disc because I have that set in GoldHEN. And here we are jailbroken, and this was all in real time. Now, the benefit of using this version is that you'll automatically have all of the PKGs of some of the most popular homebrew apps just ready to go. So right here, you can see you've got Apollo Save Tool, and then down in this list, we also have things such as the Cheat Manager, we've got Items Flow, we got PS Explorer, and the Temperature Tool by Lappy. So let's just go ahead and take one of these as a quick example. So let's grab Apollo Save Tool and get this one installed. Okay, now that that is installed, let's go ahead and run it. Since we are jailbroken, this will run just fine. So I'll press X here. Okay, and this does look like this is one of the applications that does work successfully already on a 12.52 machine. Okay, so that is just one of the benefits of using this disk. Let's switch back to the PC. Now, the creator, which is Sistro, did release an update on the Ko-Fi page where you can now download the 2.4b 18.7 directly from the site. And again, in the changelog, the only thing that was added was support for 12.50 and 12.52, as well as support for TestKit. Now, I do want to go ahead and warn you that a lot of the applications that you might be used to working may not work. We saw Apollo Save Tool working just fine. Now, here is where I tried PS4 Explorer 2.0 and it said that it was not supported. So again, your mileage may vary on what Homebrew applications work, but for your fake games, they should all work. And the last thing for this section is that I spent a lot of time working on this video, and if you do want to know how to get up and running from scratch, definitely check this one out. Next up, we've got a little bit of PlayStation 5 news and an update over here from EchoStretch. And what he states here is just a quick update on Kstuff for 10.0x. I made solid progress yesterday. Shell core is now being patched and everything is getting close to finished. Things are looking really promising and I'm hoping to continue working on it after work. So great work on that. Hopefully we will have Kstuff very soon, and obviously by having Kstuff support for this firmware, we might be able to get a few more games running. Next up, I saw an update over here from Brutal Sam, which you should totally check him out, and that was that there is a new bug in the libpng which could affect the PS4, and this is a heap buffer overflow. Now, there was a couple of things that could come out of this, such as memory corruption, arbitrary code execution, and denial of service. And what is interesting is that the affected software is image viewers supporting 16-bit PNG images, as well as game engines loading 16-bit PNG textures. Now, thankfully, the PlayStation 5 does have an image viewer, and there has already been this video that has come out of going into the media gallery, invoking the exploit, and eventually you'll see it come back with a memory corruption error here. So there is not enough free system memory and an error occurred. So we might be having some great things happening to the PlayStation 5 scene in the future. Now, if you do want to read more on this, I will leave a link to PNG Group and libpng where they talk about this in full details, where maybe you can take a look at it. Next up, regarding Y2JB, the official project page is still the same, but we have been seeing some updates over here from itsPLK, which has the PS5 YouTube Jailbreak Autoloader. And what we can see in here is that they went ahead and added in some different types of icons here and improved stability. And there is a new release over here that came out last week, which is version 0.3. Now, I have already covered this on the channel, but if you do want to get up and running with PS5 Y2JB Autoloader, then you can obviously check out my video here where I walked you through setting up a much earlier version of this. The process still remains the same. Now, you might want to change the logo that Y2JB uses. There is a default one, and there is one for this itsPLK version of it, but you can also come over here and download a bunch of other icons for Y2JB in case you want a custom icon that maybe says stuff like itsHEN, or if you're just using one for Kstuff. I know one of the solutions that some people use is that they use two different YouTube applications, one for the North America, one for Europe, and maybe the North American version just loads itsHEN, whereas the Europe version maybe only loads Kstuff. Anyways, there is a bunch of great logos that is currently available here, and I also like that these were created in Photoshop and not some AI slop. And the last thing that I have for you today is that there has been a couple of different updates over here to the Netflix and Hack, even one as recent as 1 hour ago to update the lapse.js file that they currently have. But if you go over here to the commits, you can see that today there's been some activity, and then yesterday quite a bit of activity and a bunch of improvements in regarding the README, and then even updating the ELF loader. Now, the official releases here is still sitting at 2 weeks ago, so I would assume that we would get an update of this pretty soon with some of these brand new changes that they have been working on. Now again, of course, you can always do it manually, but as stability improves, I will continue making a proper guide for it. As always, I do have a video on setting up this from absolute scratch if you do want to check this out. Anyways, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael, out!